Hello. It's been a while, but I'm back. Um, I'm still in my room. It's been 2 years, but I'm still here. It just gets better and better. So I thought I might give y'all a little bit of an update with my life and maybe share a little bit about myself. I'm 32 right now, living in my parents' house, thankfully. But I do want to get out. I do want to live alone. And I do want to live in LA. I currently live in a suburb near Tel Aviv in Israel. It's been not easy living in Tel Aviv in Israel. And there's a feeling that the war is over. So I don't want to get into politics and into the state of the matter. But I've been trying a lot of things the past 2 years, and in terms of finances, and I could not get a job. Like, I could not get like a high-tech job for a very long time. I was in 2 psych wards. It's the same one, but it was terrible, and we will share more about that. I do have one psychosis video that you should check out if you're into that. I could say that I got lost. Like, I got lost, but I also feel like I got found because I found music, and I found that I could write melodies and capture melodies, and I made 2 songs, and I have a single, Stranger, and then another one, Hate Me, and I keep on having songs and music, and I play the piano, and now it's all about taking this like beginner level situation of like, okay, you can play music, you dabbled with Ableton a little, you took some vocal lessons, you took some private lessons with this. How do you step this up? How do you take it to the next level? And you know what? I want to like share my journey. I want to be one of those artists that like shares their day to day and shares those times where you're like, I'm broke. And it's like everyone's like, okay, but look where you are now. And so yeah, I'm in my phase of, I would say, a partial brokenness, but not, I don't want to speak to it too much, because in my vessel, I feel very abundant. I feel very rich. I feel like I'm worth a lot, and I'm worthy of more. And I think in the past 2 years, I sold myself short. I did not know that I had a lot of, work behind my background. I worked in big companies in New York. I worked with Alinux. I worked with Goldman Sachs. I worked with Disney Plus, with Instagram, with big brands. And I was just like shoving it under the rug. And so enough of that. I had an interview today, so I'm happy. And now I'm actually taking a different approach, because up till now I was very against getting a 9 to 5, because I got thrown out of a 9 to 5 in New York. And ever since 2 years, I could not find a job. So I thought, I'm like, oh my God, there's like some weird thing for me that is like, ooh, maybe there's something blocking me from getting this. And it's not that. I think it was like an internal struggle of like, oh, maybe I won't have my freedom to create the music. But on the other hand, I do need like money. I need money to pay for photo shoots. I need money. I need money to do a music video that now I'm working on. After a year, after the song is out, I want to produce. So I need to pay a producer. So now I'm taking this job as like, it's going to sustain my musical career. And I finally felt like I was like on the fence with music. Like, I was like, maybe I'll do a startup. I'm one of those people where I'm like, I like to try a lot of things. So these past years, I was like, I'm trying a clothing brand. I tried drop shipping. I tried, it didn't work. And then I actually wanted to make my own brand, New Fantasy, but I ended up not having enough money because all of my money was spent on selling other people's clothing on AliExpress. And so I was like, damn, like I wish I actually spent money on my own designs, like my own like New Fantasy brand, but I believe I will do that, just not now, right now. And I spent money on recording music, and yeah, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, and it's been a rocky ride. Like I've been living off of savings and like welfare money as well, because I've been to psych ward, so I got some money back, thankfully so. But it, you know, it may look on the outside that like everything's fine, she's back to normal, but I'm still dealing with like intrusive thoughts, and it still bothers me. And there's a part of me that's like, oh, is this going to be like that? Like, is this new version of me that's constantly going to be with these annoying thoughts? And I don't want them, you know? And I've been now working on changing, you know, I don't know if I can share now. I don't want to get this video banned. Anyways, we're working on it. Let's hope. I think it's a process with some changes and positivity. So yeah, hopefully getting a job, like a high-tech job, would pay for my music, because it's super important. It's like I need it. And I tried even waitressing, and that's something that I didn't want to do, but I eventually did it for 3 months. And then I tried again in a bar, one of the bars that I really liked, but I got so overwhelmed like with people smoking. I stopped smoking cigarettes as well. And I don't know, I just literally, I couldn't. So it's like I'm becoming super sensitive, and it's not helping me. And I'm like, how on earth do you want to be a singer if you're so sensitive? And okay, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but this is like a journal today, of just like spitting out whatever is coming to mind. And, you know, maybe like with time, like maybe within a year, like things will change. Like I'll be out of my parents' house. I'll have my own juices that I'll be drinking, my own food, my own money, like all of these things have effect. Like I keep telling people this analogy about like, yo, I feel like I'm in the ocean, and I'm not drowning, but I'm like, I'm swimming and I'm swimming and I'm swimming, and I'm tired. Like I'm literally tired. And all I want to do is get on a yacht and enjoy the party where everyone's having fun. But like all I'm looking for is like this rift, or this, you know, this wooden thing to just like go on and like rest a little bit, so I don't have to swim and use all my energy to scatter around and swim around. And I'm looking for my boat. So that's how it feels. I know now that music is my calling. Like I feel like finally it's like, you know, it's like, it's there. It feels like it. And it makes sense, because when I was a kid, I was constantly hooked up to my iPod. I was constantly researching music. I you know, like I was looking up stuff. I was hooked up on MySpace. I was looking up all sorts of music, not just like the pop, like country music, classical music. And I played the piano, and I played classical. And I'm not a great pianist, but I'm a great listener. And I listen to the tunes that I get. And it happens to be so that it started off being a really good dabbler, a really good improviser, of just like, you know, when you're like a kid and you're like, here's the jam, and the skippy, you know, whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna make a mess. So that's how my music sounded in the beginning. It's like super melodic, super messy, no structure, just improvisation. It's like a long stream of something, and then some people could like listen to some forms and patterns and music and things. But eventually I started to actually discern and start piecing it out more into music in terms of verses and then intros, and you know, paying attention to the musical structure and teaching myself by listening and teaching myself how to lead to, you know, this beautiful like piece, which is the chorus. Usually the chorus is like the main thing. So yeah, leave a comment if you guys have any questions. If you guys, you know, I'm working on now like the music video for Stranger, which is my first song for Alinux, and this whole platform is going to be Alinux. And another thing, and I think this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll close this journal, and let me know if you enjoyed me just chatting with you, because that's what I want. I want to get to know you guys, and I you know what, yeah. So there's two things I'll finish off with. If you guys are bored, no, it's fine. I have confidence to continue this video. It's been so natural, so I don't know why I'm like, it's me being self-conscious. It's fine. It's part of the journal. So what I'm saying is there are two things. It's like finding who Alinux is, just like Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce. Like everyone has their like alter ego. And for me, I am Aline, and I want to be Alinux. And Alinux is like, she's more vicious than Aline. She's like more confident, and she's like this cyber girl and this glitch Y2K like princess warrior. She's a rebel, but she's a good type of rebel. Why can't I speak? She's an art girl, but she has a big heart, and that is mutual to me and Alinux. But the thing is, there's this interesting thing that I've always, also when I studied design in New York, is understanding the digitalism versus the emotion. And I think we are in this era, in this state of time where we are becoming more and more colder because of AI and technology, and we're not, you know, as so friendly as we used to be before. Let alone making friends is a lot harder. That's why I wanted to do this startup for friendships and making friends, and it aligns with my beliefs and who I am. But I'm like, I started it a little bit in Israel, and I know that actually not doing it here would not make it successful. It should be in the U.S. It should be in LA or Miami or somewhere. But then I was like, you know what? No, like music is the way to go. And then later on, you could add more ventures. So yeah, that's the thing about Alinux, is like shaping her up, and also like the clothing and the cyber like glitchy thing, and bringing that into the videos as well. So I think this is like the beginning of an era of me being like super stripped down right now and just talking about the process, which I think is cool to have stripped down, because the artist should be able to be stripped down. You see all of this like people that are with like no makeup, and they're just talking instead of just like, oh, well, I'm in full, you know, full clothing, Gucci, whatever, my thing. So yeah, I'm excited for that, for those of like actually wearing like really cool like wires and like electronics on me, and like, I don't know, So, yeah. I think Katy Perry did something cool, like using that warrior-esque with like some metal and stuff. But I don't know why something did not completely like hit the mark there. I think it was like overdone to my taste. But who am I, you know? So that's the one thing. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about before I conclude this beautiful little journal is you guys, the people, and becoming friendly to people online that I don't even know. And I really want to connect. And I think I want to reach to the people that have been alone. And I want to make people feel. I want to make people feel again. I want to make people feel like they can love. And my songs, I've noticed, are a lot about love. They're pretty kitschy as fuck, but I don't care. I think there should be a revival of pop music that's in just love, you know, like an old Backstreet Boys or Mariah Carey or like a Cher. I think those musics are like, they're sacred, they're important, and not just like, oh, she's cool, she went down in the street and then she started drinking and then she went to the party, and it's like, come on, like, what are you singing about? Like, you're singing about just having money and having a G-Wagon, and like, I do want a G-Wagon, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my top cars out there, just saying. I keep seeing them around, like, it's G-Wagon. Yeah, but put that aside, it's like, sometimes I'm so into the Max Martin of like the oldies of like, yes, you can just sing about the love, you know, it doesn't always have to be so complicated lyrically. And back to the audience again, because I'm going to conclude this, because I really want to find a way to talk to you guys and make this journal and make more journals and more content here as I go along my journey, because I think it would be a shame to just be like, you find yourself a year or two or whenever, who knows, being like, oh, she's famous, her song went viral or her video went viral. Usually that's how it goes. But I'm like, no, like, you need to talk before. I mean, I want to share who I am. Like, I want to like just talk. And I do that a lot on my stories on Instagram, but no one cares. No one cares. Old friends of mine don't care. And I think it's about talking about those things that like they're kind of painful. Like, I don't have friends right now. And I think that would be a whole other journal. So if you're into that, leave a comment. And I'm going to do another part 2 to this part 1 and talk about friendships and social life. So thank you guys, and see you later.